Ladies and gentlemen, people and pipettes, here we are for the second sculpting session for Black Betty, Painting by the Shares, with Hector Moran. Hello, Hector.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Good, good. You?
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is before Christmas, and not busy at all or anything.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Let me just check my sound on. I got some echo here. I'm just going to take that away.
Oh, you got the echo going?
Do you have the video on, or is it me?
Oh, maybe. Just a second. I think I turned back up my speakers on Skype. Just turned them down, and I should still get audio from the.
Yeah, the video is running. So, okay, guys, we'll be with you. We always have a few seconds of messing with technology. Somebody has it open. It's probably me. Hold on.
Okay, how's that?
Here we go. Hold on.
Does that work?
Okay, can you take down the speaker in your Skype a little bit? Can we still hear you?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, we have a very slight echo. It's kind of funny how you don't have it before the show and then you go live and you all of a sudden you have it.
That's strange. Yeah, but I have the speakers on low on the. Maybe next time I should use headphones.
Hold on. How about now?
Okay. Do you hear it still?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. So that didn't take too long. Perfect. Not as long as last time when the internet connection crashed. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I just said, we are all not busy at all. It's a few days before Christmas, and there's nothing to do, and no work to wrap up or anything like that, running campaigns or anything like that. So, I'll admit. So we're picking up a little after what we've done last time, right?
Some steps ahead of that. We got as far as the pants on the last broadcast we had.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so now we are a bit further down.
Nice.
He's a bit more accessorized. He's
nice. I love the backpack. Actually, this is the first time I see it myself. I mean, I've seen the TV concepts.
Yeah, and actually, it's gonna get zippers. It's gonna get a big zipper here, another here,
nice,
another one here. But I think that'll happen after we try to pose it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got his mechanical hand.
Yeah, the power fist.
Now.
I guess we can't call it power fist, but.
What?
We can call it power fist because of copyright infringement for Games Workshop, but.
Oh yeah.
It looks really cool.
It's the BAM hand.
The BAM hammer.
That's good. Yeah, so like right now it's overlapped with his normal hand. It looks more like that when it's on the final state. And yeah, I'm just missing a few little things here and there. Ordinarily, I would take a bit more time to detail the basic one before I go into posing. But I think we might be okay for at least trying to do a draft of the pose.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
So there will be more refinement after we're doing the posing tonight.
Yeah. I mean, posing always. You'll see the process in a bit, and you'll see how much refinement it needs afterwards. It's the model gets a bit mangled after you do and you have to clean up all the mangled and badly deformed sections.
Okay.
So that's where a lot of the time goes after posing.
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see. So what I was doing just before we started is that I was trying to complete because he has his mouth open in the pose that we're doing. So I was trying to give him a set of teeth that we can see there in X-ray. That is. Yeah. So I'm still adjusting that. I mean, yeah, maybe they'll be way too tiny to even see.
Sure.
But I already had a set of teeth that I was able to bring from another project. Anyways, I actually have over here. If I go back, This is from an exercise that I did some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually based on a monkey skull. I think that's more based on a macaque or some other species.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just an old anatomy exercise, and I was able to steal the teeth from that, so that's good. And yeah, so let's see. What else do we need? Oh yeah, for example, one more thing I would have liked to still do before going into posing was maybe detail the fur on the tail. But I think that will be good if he doesn't have too much detail on his tail, because him and Alam are gonna share basic model.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they have the more unique parts they have from each other, the better. I think the head shape will be different anyways for his brother and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll get it going. So yeah, just checking out the monkey reference again, and I think so. This is the very, very sketchy pose that I was planning for him.
Yeah, that was the initial one of the very first, if not the first draft, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the first draft when I was still just drawing him next to Betty in the main concept, and yeah, I think that's a good pose. It could work for him. He didn't have his mechanical hand yet.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding over here a piece of technology that we will see in the mini comic if we get that far.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's I think we're almost.
Yeah, we have quite a few viewers out there, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. This is especially, of course, for supporters and backers, just to kind of shorten the time before Christmas, waiting for Christmas a little bit. And I think it's also interesting, for me, it's extremely interesting to see, because even though Mati oftentimes sculpts something, I don't really look over his shoulder all the time, so this is really cool.
Yeah.
So if you get questions, you can post them in the comments below under the video.
Yeah, please do ask questions if you have them. It's a good time to go ahead and answer them. So right now I'm just checking that I have everything ready for going into pose.
So you reduce the detail now before you go into pose?
Yeah, every subtool, they call them. Subtool is just what ZBrush calls every section of the character that you divide the objects into. So the body is one object, the eyeballs and the hand are separate objects. All these things, and ZBrush gives you this list where you can put them all together, and all of them can have several levels of detail. So they can have several. We call them subdivisions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just before I do this posing process, I always save, because programs can crash. So let's avoid incidents.
Yeah, while you do that, a quick shout out to Adeptus Custodes, who's watching again. How you doing? I can see you on YouTube, you comment. I can't see it in the Google Hangout yet. It's just, I don't know why it doesn't sync right, but oh well.
Okay, so saving. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, and there it is. So we're gonna jump into this posing process now. Hopefully it's not too boring to watch. So okay, so that went okay. I'm just gonna over here delete some stuff that I don't need, just so that it doesn't carry over later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So over here we still have all of the parts as separate selectable parts, and we're gonna start by bringing up his arms. So I'm gonna make a selection of the arms.
while you're doing that, I mean, right now he's blue. We have actually been talking about the color of the resin today and yesterday.
Oh yeah.
And there's some discussion going on. There's obviously the gray, which is the usual color. We could do her black because she's Black Betty, but black resin is not really nice to work with because you can't really see what you're doing when there's like when you're preparing it.
Yeah.
Then the suggestion came up with pink, which is kind of cool, like a pink version, and then of course the painting Buddha orange. So if you have any thoughts on that, just post it in the comments, guys. If you like, we can even make it a voting tomorrow. Cool. Hey Ben Clapperton is there. And now I actually can see the guys. Here we go. Hey, Adeptus Custodes. And Ben. Hello.
Here we go. We're going to try to move the arms.
Ooh.
Oh no, we're missing some parts.
Yep.
Okay. It's happening. It's happening.
That's so cool. My first toy was made of wood. And then in 1978 we got a Pong. I don't even know if you know that.
Yeah.
I still have that. It's pretty cool.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I mean it's these kind of programs, they are left like unlimited toy boxes. Once you learn to handle them, you can do anything basically that you want, as long as you've put in a bit of time to learn the program and just just practice basically.
Yeah.
Like, none of this is necessarily rocket surgery. But yeah, I mean, of course, it's for my students when they do this the first time, they watch it and they see that it looks kind of easy. Then the first time they try it, they're like, "This tool is so weird. I cannot get the hang of it." Yeah, they complain a lot. But yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of getting used to it. I'm very used to posing miniatures this way.
Did you actually? I didn't ask you last time, but did you actually sculpt physically as well? Is it something you did or learned?
Yeah, I did quite a bit of that before I even started drawing, and I did a good bit of it even in college while I was learning some of these crazy 3D programs.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, it's been a bit of a process, and kind of always been sculpting in some sort of way. Yeah, when I was a kid, actually, funny story. My grandfather, he used to have a shop where they would sell all kinds of things. Like, it was a really weird store because they would sell and they have them in Mexico. They call them mercerias. And they're kind of mom and pop shops, but they're not that existent anymore. And basically what they used to do in those kinds of stores, they would have anything from supplies for people that make or fix clothing. My grandma used to do a lot of like kind of seamstress work, just as a bit of a hobby. But she also did make some dresses and stuff like that for clients. And in the store they had buttons and they had zippers and all these sort of things. And they even had like school supplies to some extent. And one of the school supplies that they had was actually plasticine, colored plasticine.
Okay.
Basically clay that they get for children, like kind of like Play-Doh but it's a bit more oily. And it was colored, so that was actually sort of. I mean, yeah, of course, I did have plastic figures and things like that, but that was sort of my first toy and my favorite toy.
Nice.
Just getting a set of 10 colors of that kind of plasticine, like I'd be entertained for forever and ever with that stuff. The thing is also that of course they would only give me so much of it. They would give me 1 or 2 boxes, and the rest were for selling for the clients and stuff like that. So,
see, I just realized why I never became a sculptor.
Yeah.
In kindergarten, they also had this modeling plasticine stuff.
Yeah.
And there was one girl who always ate it. So now I know why I never picked that up. It's all her fault.
Yeah, there's always the kid that eats it. I think the one that one might actually been. I mean, this was Mexico, so like the one that they had in my schools might have been still toxic. So we knew not to do that. Yeah, it was basically sort of how I got started, and that was like at age 5 and 6, really pretty young.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would just kind of be entertained endlessly with those little packets. And one funny thing that would happen with that is that because the supply was limited, I was not given as many packs of that as I would like.
Right.
I would make a set of figures, like, I don't know, some crude attempt at Thundercats or Batman and things like that, and then I would run out of the thing, right? And then I would want to make new things. So every time I wanted to make new ones, I had to I had to basically pick apart the other ones that I had made, and put back the clay colors to the clay piece that they belong to, and sort of recycle the figures that way. So like a lot of those figures, basically, I ended up not having them because a lot of them got picked apart for new ones to be made.
Yeah. I've just been adding our cameras to the screen so people can actually see what we're doing as well and what we're saying. So
yeah,
it's a little more personal with a monkey in the middle.
Yeah.
It's the one in the middle, people. There's no confusion about
in the middle.
Yeah. We have 2 more comments. First of all, from Kodak, who said that he missed the previous show, that BAM is looking good already. And just as a reminder, again, what you're seeing right now, this is a very reduced graphical representation of what Hector has already done. It's reduced for posing, so it's working faster and all these kind of things.
ZBrush basically does this. When you take a mesh or a sculpt that is already very complex, it goes into, you're able to go into this mode where you can take a lot of those complex meshes and start kind of manipulating them all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to do that, it takes them all to their most basic level.
Yeah.
And then it allows you to do that. So right now what I'm doing is I'm breaking the symmetry on the pose. Of course, we started with bringing up the arms kind of symmetrically. I'm going to break that symmetry on the arms also eventually. And yeah, so right now I'm also later probably gonna use Betty's base, because that base has a bit of a slant, so his feet are not gonna be so flat to the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll need to keep that into account. And
actually, I really like it. I really like the feet. They're really cool.
The what?
The feet are really cool. I like the shape. You know,
yeah.
It's a monkey foot, but I mean, it's not something you see every day. So it's really
exactly.
Ben just wrote about the color that we were using. He said, "Why limit yourself to one color? Rainbow resin." Now, Ben, the thing is that ideas like that are so good that I will tell my guys tomorrow. Then Ben and Marty are going to throw stuff at me. Marty's going to say it's not going to work, and then I'm going to talk to the caster and see if he actually can do that, and probably not. So
yeah, my vote would be in the orange or pink one actually.
Yeah, Adeptus Custodes also just said gray resin is fine, but painting with orange would be cool. Rick Danny also says alternative color resins are very cool from a collector standpoint, but anything outside the usual gray will likely make actually painting it more difficult. As an aside, I'm still deluded enough to think that I'll find the time to paint all the minutes in my collection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as I've seen, and I mean, I might be wrong at this, but a lot of people prime their minis in black or really dark grays, don't they?
yes. Yeah.
I mean, I know Jesus does that, for example.
Yeah.
So
We usually prime black and white, but there's
yeah.
also exceptions. Like for Horus, for example, we only did black because he got a black armor, and just to save work, you're just not doing white on top.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe that would be.
The resin color is really only important for working with the resin. For example, black. I mean, there are some black miniatures out there. Black resin is not very good. The same with white. You just don't see the detail that you need to clean up the miniature correctly. Anything that's gray, pink actually works really well. I haven't seen orange yet, but I can imagine that if it's not too dark, that's going to work very well as well.
I've only seen original prints in orange, and I gotta say some of them can look really nice.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad color if you I mean, it might happen, for example, for a lot of people that they would buy it and maybe they don't get a chance to paint it until a while later. And I mean, maybe if you still want to show her and just have her in your showcase, I think if it's like an orange or a pink piece, it could still look kind of fun.
It's also cool because the resin version is limited to the Kickstarter only.
Yeah.
So after the Kickstarter, there won't be any resin versions, and then having saying, "Hey, I got the orange."
Yeah, exactly. So it could be its own kind of bit of a showpiece.
Yeah.
And bit pop art.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you actually don't paint her in the end, which would be a shame, Rick, then at least you can put her in the display and say, "Hey, she's orange." So it's not really. But the nice thing about the videos we do, and especially those sets, whether it's now the Black Betty or even the season 1.1 we did, which I think we have like 7 boxes left, or now the orcs, the goblin, the rendered Streisand, they all come with a video, and that will motivate you so much to actually paint, in this case the orc or Betty, that you will actually end up painting it. And I think that is what miniatures are intended for.
Yeah, that's part of its destiny.
Yep.
The figure's intention. So yeah, it should definitely see some paint eventually.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, here I'm still just trying to break up the symmetry. Just get the whole thing a bit more organic and get rid of the deep origins. It's always good to rotate torso a little bit.
Yeah. I saw that you changed the symmetry in the legs first, then the individual, like the feet, then you twisted the whole axis of the spine, and then you even put it a little sideways. So basically, you broke the symmetry in all dimensions.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really, since I don't, you do get some benefit from those. There's a lot of organics and nice you can get out of that. This is for the back, so I hate it. For example, if you work in pose, you get a bit of dynamism and out of that, because you're working very similar to how the sculptors traditionally are doing it also. So in order to justify for not having that part of the process, if you're posing from a T-pose, you just have to check all your angles and just kind of adjust everything, even if a little bit, just so that you can make this more organic and get rid of that origin that it has.
And I think that's the one thing that virtual sculpting, or like here in ZBrush, that makes easier for a sculptor, because you can adjust the pose afterwards. If you're a classical sculptor and your miniature is done and it's cured,
yeah,
it's much harder.
That's a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
You might be stuck with wherever your armature started.
Mm-hmm.
If your armature started with the wrong pose or something that you ended up not liking, you're in for a world of hurt.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. If you end up, I don't know, having some supervisor, client, or whoever saying like, you know what, I would actually prefer this running pose instead of this jumping one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a massive facepalm for sculptors. Yeah, I mean, it's still a bit of a facepalm for digital sculpting. I mean, it can be a pain. But yeah, I enjoy the ability to be able to go back to a sculpt if I wanted to at some point, and just go from the base model and just make any a very different miniature out of that. One of my favorites where I got to do that was Candy from Relic Knights, because for her, I got to do first her pose while she's riding her mech, her relic, and then I got to do a pose where she is running with this giant soda cannon. So that was pretty fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
See, I yesterday I bought something that you did, right? Remember? Remember what it was?
Oh, yes.
Let me see if I can find
Katarina.
it. Yeah, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah.
Oh, where did I save it? Oh, I know. In the folder called Office of the Galactic President Zaphod Beeble-Babble files can be found here. That is my directory. Okay.
That's a pretty short name.
Yeah, I wanted to keep it concise.
Not a mouthful at all.
and apparently I named her Kataruna because I didn't spell it right. Let me just put that on screen real quick, because I think that what's behind this is really kind of interesting. No, that's not the one. Here we go. Okay, so this is my Photoshop. But so this skin here, you guys know from my personal Facebook page that I play League of Legends. Like last night, like at midnight, I played one game just so that I could wind down a little bit. And I usually don't play any carries or anything like that. I always play support. But yesterday I bought the Slaybell Katarina because Hector made the skin. Ooh, how cool is that?
Yes.
And yeah, and it's kind of funny because it's almost a parable to what we're doing at Painting Buddha, because League of Legends is free to play. I don't have to pay anything to play that. I just enjoy playing it, and I decide that if I enjoy doing something, it's worth supporting it. And so by buying a skin, which in this case is my most precious digital possession because it's made by Hector, I think just by supporting that, I think it makes me happy and helps those guys make more and cooler games. So it's kind of like what we're doing with our videos for the Painting Buddha Academy. We put them out for free on YouTube, at least most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And still we have over 200 people that decided to support us. So we can keep doing these kind of things, and to me, it's almost like a parallel. It's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely, and it's so funny because when I introduce myself to my students, you always kind of by being a teacher, you're often kind of risking like, oh, this guy was here, and like he's gonna be all boring and annoying or condescending. But immediately, like when I bring in some of the introduction that I do, I just kind of show them some of the projects I've worked on and like why I like ZBrush and what I'm trying to show them. because my intention with the classes is that to show them that they can eventually do everything that I can do. You know, it would be a matter of like, first of all, just paying attention and just doing a good project in my class, and after that, just keep practicing and learning, right? So when I show them projects like League of Legends, they're like, "Oh my God, you worked on that!" And yeah, some of them actually also bought the Katarina skin, or often the Fiora or the Annie one. And like it's cool because automatically you get cool uncle points as a teacher.
Cool uncle points.
You're not just this boring adult that is coming to talk down to them or something. You're actually someone that kind of has done something that they're interested in and that they like or enjoyed, and yeah, that kind of helps, at least for not having a rowdy or apathetic classroom.
Yeah. Well, let's ask the guys out there. Any of you guys that are watching right now playing League of Legends, or what is your favorite game? That'd be interesting. Just post it in the comments. It'd be interesting to see if I play those as well. Now, do you still have connections to Riot? Because what you could do me a real favor if you could get me a winter skin for Nami real quick.
No, actually, the unfortunate thing with that gig when I had it was that it was kind of subcontracted. So the studio that was actually doing the skins or was doing more skins for Riot directly was my friend's studio. So actually, I didn't get any direct contact with Riot. I follow some of the artists on Twitter, and some of them follow me back. And we kind of briefly internet chat or exchange sentences here and there. I think some of them, of course, because I've done a few things for the project, and a lot of people in this field just kind of know each other or are aware of each other by the works.
It's kind of the same in the miniature industry. It's like you know so many people either by name or by Facebook, or you've met them on shows and so on.
Exactly. So it's a bit like that. It's a small world, and it's a smaller industry. Even both the miniatures and the video games industries, they're relatively small. If you start just kind of talking about the people that work in it and that do things in it, I think I'm about ready to start transferring this to the main mesh. So let's cross our fingers and hope that it transfers. Okay. Because then I'll start posing the hand, which is gonna have a fist closed.
So this is like an iterative process then, that you do this part, then you go to a different part, and then kind of tweak things back and forth?
Yeah, it's basically what you just saw me do might happen sometimes 3 times. With Betty, it's happened already 3 times to get her to where she is now. I might not need to do it anymore, but if I ever do need to do it, I mean, basically that's what I do. I go in and kind of transfer this, and looks like we have success. Right now I'm just bringing the subdivisions to their higher level, and there he is.
Oh, cool.
Success. Yeah, sometimes that feature bugs out, so you kind of...
That looks cool.
That's always there's a bug in Assassin's Creed in the new one where you get to see something like this, just, floating eyeballs and teeth. Very scary thing. And you're watching a cinematic, and that's happening to some character in there, so that can be
in the cinematic, that's not good. No.
Yeah, so for example, if I go to his body, I can show you some of what I was meaning, so what I was talking about. So for example, there's things like this here. You know, the whole armpits, because they were moved so much. A lot of the hair on those areas is very kind of stretched and distorted. So part of the process of posing the characters is basically, if that part is showing, which I think it is kind of under the best showing there, you kind of need to clean that up and maybe redo the fur on that section. So that's part of the cleanup after posing process. Now also, for example, that I have this more in post, I'll start basically pushing in some of the fur that is coming through the vest, and yeah, just doing all those kinds of things. I think what I'm gonna do next, just to kind of get him going, also a bit more into character, is gonna be that I'm gonna start just moving around his face. So let's do this.
I feel like a kid in a candy store right now. I actually get to watch how this is being posed. I find this awesome. I wish I could do anything like that. I have to full disclosure. I probably would hurt you or seriously damage you to be able to do something like this, if that's what it takes. No, it's really cool.
It really processed. To really, like right now, I'm gonna start pulling on his mouth to just get it open. And actually, what I'm gonna do to get that going better is so a bit of masking.
That's so cool.
And of course, if the teeth are not moving along with the mouth, that will be a bit weird.
Yeah.
But this is where you get to have a lot of the fun, because you get to just bring in your reference now, like this, and really start doing a mixture of something like, for example, this. Just a second. So I want to get a mixture of something a bit like this and this, because I want his showing. I could maybe even look around and find a similar face to that, but let's see where we get with those ones. This monkey is too young, and his teeth. This
happy monkey.
It's funny. Yeah, well, actually, this wouldn't be actually this. If you sometimes I read this sort of thing. What are showing their teeth in most times when they're showing their teeth, they're actually either dressed or showing her. A monkey smile actually is without teeth. It's a bit more like this. So when smiling, they're kind of open their mouth.
You know what? We have. I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, Hector, but we have a product in the store. It's actually one of the first ones called the Happy Monk. It's a 54mm monk miniature, and we always thought about giving him like a sidekick, and we thought about like a happy monk girl or a happy nun or something. But I mean, obvious, the happy monkey, right?
Yeah, I think that
sometimes
that
the truth
would be
is so
a good companion.
Yeah,
and it's also something that wouldn't be that unlikely, I think.
Would be cool. See, this is a lot of people don't understand how our ideas start. Like, I see a smiling monkey, happy monkey. Oh, we have a happy monk. Oh, let's do a happy monkey. That's how it starts. And then it goes like, well, make this exclusive to Painting Buddha Academy members. Nobody else can get them. Stuff like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so now I'm going to go and start opening his mouth. And so I make these temporary lines here. So now I get to do this. Cool. I think I'm gonna be somewhere in between. He's gonna be a bit of a display of, because that is sort of what he would be doing in the story context of what we wanted to do in the mini comic.
Right.
He's kind of half threatening to do something, so maybe he was showing a bit of teeth. But of course, it's also about getting a fun expression going on.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can get. And of course, I'm gonna have to beef up all those teeth a lot more. They might even I don't know, blur into nothingness for for a smaller version of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the
but
monkey will be really. I mean, she is 75 millimeters. I think the monkey might be something like 30 or even smaller. So I think it's really important to realize that these are really small monkeys, and you're not going to see like the hairs in the nostrils or something like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. So all those things kind of, I pay attention to them, but at some point I kind of do a cutoff point where like, okay, I'm not going to bother tweak that too much or mess that too much because it will only be lost. So yeah, you kind of make those decisions as you go along. You just try to make the right calls, and of course you still this whole thing with 3D printing is not yet an exact science. So there's still a lot of kind of estimating, and like when you get the print, sometimes you're like, okay, maybe I could have spent more time on that, or maybe this I bothered so much with this and it doesn't even show.
Yeah.
So yeah, you always kind of.
Yeah, and then there's a whole new process or a whole different process after the printing, which is preparing the miniature for casting. And that's actually where a lot of the stuff that we're just talking about, you either pick it up or you do completely hide it or whatever. But it's not like you take a miniature out of a printer and then make a cast and you're done. So we've actually done one model, something that we will release next year. It's actually a vehicle. And I think we've spent 2 weeks just on cleaning that for production. Just on cleaning it, and it was a really good.
Process. I mean, when I do the cuts for Betty and I record that process, you'll see a bit of also just some of the technicalities that go into cutting them up properly so that they'll be mold friendly and all those things. But yeah. I think in the overall.
I think another big point for the impression would be the eyes and the eyebrows, right?
Yeah, exactly. For the expression on the eyebrows, I'm going to be looking at this guy and this guy. These guys are so much fun.
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah, this one here and this guy. This looks like an older one, and he's quite chunky. He used to have a lot of fat on him, and he just has this skeptical expression. They can be so expressive. It's really amazing. That he really has this look like, oh, seriously?
Yeah, I hope this comes out well on the Hangout. Obviously, this is being crunched a couple of times by different algorithms.
Yeah,
but, on my screen, it looks pretty good. So.
This guy is pretty readable. I mean, I'm zooming him in a lot more so that he's visible in the.
What you talking about?
But this is like, what you talking about?
What you talking about?
I'm definitely gonna be looking at those guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's get some of that going actually. And of course, for this, it's really all ready to just be done with the core of Symmetry. I'm not longer dealing with any of the Symmetry that was given for free. With the people, which reminds me, I should probably save.
Always a good idea.
Yeah. You'll have to excuse a bit of a pause here while I progress, because it would be a shame to have to redo this. So
we'll probably end up re-recording the whole show as well, just to make sure that people see what they get in the end. We have talked a lot today about packaging, for example, for Betty, and I mean, for us, the campaign is going exactly as we expected, which is really nice. The funding was done within 42 hours. Actually, it was done within 30 hours, which was amazing. For us, really, the goal was to be able to do this, and we needed the money for the production. and now we're talking about how we can spend the money on the production, and this is going to be epic. I mean, I know that I would want to buy one of these boxes because it's going to be so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in for at first towards the end.
Yeah.
And who knows what could happen in the middle, anyways. I mean, we're trying to promote it with some of the channels that we know.
Right. Plus we do have some secret agendas still that are still looming. So.
Yeah, exactly. So there's still plans. We got some moves.
We got some moves.
Some moves to make. And yeah, so.
Isn't that a song? I got the moves like Hector. I got the moves like Hector.
I don't know that song.
Right. I think it's the moves like Jagger. Is the Maroon 5 or something?
Yeah. Is it? I don't know that many of their songs actually. I know a few.
That's the only one I know that I buy them. So. and I only know a cover version, so. I oftentimes watch like music videos from like young artists that have like really professional videos out there. Really enjoy their renditions of famous stuff and so on.
Yeah. It's one of the artists that I really got into, and he's also a video director for a lot of pop stars. But he's a brilliant musician in his own right. Is Wood.
Who's that? Sorry?
Guy. He goes by that name, like Wood.
Okay.
And Kid together.
Okay. Yeah. Your connection dropped out twice there when you said the name, so. Maybe it's the NSA.
Okay.
There's something fishy about them or something. You never know.
Something magical with the name. It drops connections. Yeah. No, but that's really cool. And he's also a director for other music videos. So got a little bit more expression going on.
Yeah, it's really cool. And this is amazing. Also, when you're painting something, you can do similar things by the way you paint. For example, you have a face with a flat eyebrow, and if you put the highlights on the eyebrows closer to the eyes, they look more aggressive. If you put them to the outside, I think we just lost your picture, your video, but I still have your sound.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, drop the video. That's cool.
Lost the video. Okay. From the camera or from the screen?
Only your camera. We got the video of the sculpt. It's all fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Right now,
I think the important thing is the monkey now.
Yeah. You're just a flaming head. But it's really cool how you can just with very little tweaks change the expression of a face. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, you also kind of have to know a bit of the muscles of the face. Mm-hmm. They might differ a bit from apes to humans. I think humans have more of a lot of the muscles, but other ones between us, and so yeah, we just if you've played around with facial expression on humans before, you can kind of work your way through. So yeah, I'm getting a bit more unevenness here on the mouth.
I think we had this discussion with Jeremy and one of the Beeble-Babbles for his CreatureCast Kickstarter, and we said the same thing, where if you're sculpting a human head and you're making a mistake, just something that's slightly off, people will know immediately. It's like, because you know a human face. But if you make a capuchin monk and you mess it up slightly, or you make it even more human than it usually looks like, nobody will notice because that's something you don't really see every day.
Yeah, it's harder to detect the might be off, which is good, because I think also in some cases when you're watching an animated movie, for example, and you have like talking animals, they often give them a lot more face flexibility than the actual animal has, because they're anthropomorphizing them.
Yeah, yeah.
Say that 3 times fast.
I'm not even gonna try it once. Now I have to try it. Come on, hold on. Anthropomorphizing. That was bad. Yeah. I closed my eyes while I said that. It's to concentrate. What you do right now is very important for the final print, is making sure that all of the lines are deep enough for the 3D printer to actually pick them up.
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, here there would be a bit of crinkling by the nose that would happen. So I'm exaggerating some of that. This sort of thing would still be noticeable in the large Betty.
Yeah.
That. So yeah, it's important. Kind of go in there and.
I really like his attitude right now. The one eye a little slightly more open than the others, like.
Yeah. That's just fun to kind of play with that asymmetry. And the eyebrows are great for working with expression. They can do so much. We go back to this guy. I mean, he's got so much. Yeah. He's got so much depth on that eyebrow.
Yeah.
Kind of trying to push a bit of that.
Sorry, go ahead.
They also have these kind of ridge in the middle of their noses. And I wanted to distinguish BAM, because they don't always have it so pronounced. But I wanted to distinguish BAM a bit by having it.
Kind of like being the alpha male kind of thing.
Yeah, or just the meaner one, I think. But yeah, I mean, monkeys is just the meaner are the alpha, anyways. Yeah.
I just wanted to say I had 3 people from basically 3 continents today. From one from Canada, one from Brazil, and one from Europe. And they sent me a message. They said about the Beeble-Babbles that they enjoy watching them while they're painting. So it's a kind of like background noise.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the comments, right, for Betty.
Yeah, and I think that's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the nerd show from
they said. Yeah. Yeah, so backlog there for people. And do we have any questions so far?
Actually, not on Google. Hang on, let me just check on the YouTube video, because it doesn't always update, as I said. Nope, no further questions so far. Well, maybe we can talk at this point, because you've posed the miniature, and I think as far as posing is concerned, everybody has a really good idea now on how something like that works. So the next step for you would be to kind of refine the posing. You will also do the closed fist, for example, things like that. And then you'll go back to the overall model, work on some of the details. Then you go back, work on some more of the posing to make it really the way you want it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, for example, I think in some areas I can do it on the pose one already. Like I wanna bring out a section here for the patch. But here I would just push that out. I think within this same mesh. But for example, the straps here, I think I'm gonna do a clean ones that connect. I'll do those in the original model, and then just bring them over to this one.
Yeah.
The buttons, pants, I think with an extraction that is done right here. The tail, yeah, the tail is also gonna get full fur detail, just as it is on this pose. But yeah, I think I'm still gonna see what else I can do to spice up this too stiff or too boring. Yeah, I think part of what some of my clients or potential clients, when they write me asking about minis, is that many of them like that my miniatures, even though I use this technique, they don't have stiff. They don't end up kind of looking post. I think it helps that I have a background in drawing and comic books and in animation.
Yeah.
So all of those things combined with a bit of just helps you kind of get some. Also, the wrinkling on the pants is, I think, going to get a bit customized based on the pose. So yeah,
it's really cool. I mean, in the last
basically
show,
that's
show you showed us a little bit about how to. Oh, now I got an echo again. But in the last show, you showed us a little bit about how to start a miniature from a blob. Then we went into some of the detailing. You did the pants to show like a simple structure. We did the whole A pose, and you finished some of the work on the hands, the power or the BAM hammer, as we now call it's now called the BAM hammer. That's what it is.
The BAM hammer.
The BAM hammer, and now we got to see how it's being posed. That's awesome. And one of the things that we want to do in some of the further stretch goals down the line is first of all, there's one that's called Sculpting with Hector, where we will almost a little bit use a kind of like teach and tease approach. It's not going to be a 50-hour sculpting masterclass, but it's going to walk you through the steps of how something is being sculpted in full HD. So it's not going to be we're full of artifacts from Google Hangout and YouTube. It's going to be really nice quality. And also there's going to be some a little bit behind the scenes kind of stuff. We will talk more about these things. We will show how the miniature will be printed, for example. That's one of the ideas we have. Actually do a time lapse of a print of Betty. Printing her would probably take about 42 hours. So almost 2 days, I'd say, just for the printing process. And things like that. It's just, I think it's very interesting to actually see how something happens and comes to life.
Yeah. I've spoken about that with the guys that I talked to about printing the pieces, and they're all good for it. They're all we're still deciding who we're with. Yeah. We have it down to about 3, but the ones that we're talking to, they're all fine with recording the printing process. Not entirely, of course, every step. I mean, that would be very boring. But basically, photographing it and or maybe just very, very short time lapse, maybe something like 5 minutes or less. Just
like a picture every 42
seconds. You see kind of these. Yeah. And I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff that we have planned. And there's more. I think one of the stretch goals, I think level 5, is the share secrets, and I'm pretty confident that we will reach that. I don't want to guarantee it, but I'm very, very confident we'll reach that. The share secrets is basically a secret channel where all of the backers and all of the funders will get first information about anything new we do, like new artists. Maybe you even get to choose your favorite artists, or at least vote for them, or maybe even put their names in the list. And then you can actually see how the projects start in the future from a much, much earlier phase, like from the phase when like Hector and I just talked on Skype and, hey, let's do something together. And I think this is really, really cool to see how something like what we're doing with Betty here and with BAM and LM, how this really comes to life and turns into a miniature and into a project. Did I lose your audio now as well? I think I did. And now we lost him completely. My speech has completely destroyed him. Let's see if he's back in a second. Now, while we do this, of course, Adaptus Custodes for the rescue. Looking good already. Heck, you're a techno wizard. Now, of course, we're going to say it now so he doesn't hear it. Okay. We had this yesterday as well. We had a drop off his connection and took him quite a while to get back. What are we going to do? I'm going to wait a while. Actually, let's do this. 1 second. Let me get my interview cam up. Hello. I'm going to try to get him again. That's sad. I'm sad. Internet connection problem. You know what we're going to do? I think we're just going to call it a night. I think we've seen almost everything except for the hands. And rather than waiting again 10 minutes for the connection to come back up. On behalf of Hector, who dropped and but will be back at least with me in a moment. I would like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting us. I know you guys have supported us, and it means a lot to us. It really, really does. Your support has already enabled us to actually run this project, and that, for us, is what we wanted to do. We're able to produce it. We're able to create awesome boxes, content, miniatures, and all these kind of things. Stay tuned. There will be more updates in the next couple of days, and there may or may not be Christmas presents. I'm not sure. All right. So, guys, thanks a lot. Sorry for the dropout in the end, but there's going to be more. So stay tuned, share, and enjoy. Bye bye.